CompanyCam is for, construction contractor, really whatever you are. If you're a superintendent, a project manager, if you or your crew are documenting job site photos, videos, reports, basically anything, CompanyCam could be a potential solution for you. So today I'll just kind of walk you through the quick 10-minute overview of what CompanyCam does. So I'll be showing you two different screens right here. So the screen on the right that you're looking at is the web version of CompanyCam. So if you're sitting on your laptop, your desktop computer in the office or something like that, just go to companycam.com, sign in, and you're in, viewing all your content. And then on the left is just my phone screen here. So I'll be hopping back and forth between the two to kind of show you how they interact. Again, so whether you're a superintendent, project manager, I don't know, but usually the first step of any project is probably documenting the work, figuring out what you need to do, taking photos, right? So I'll kind of show you how that works. So you roll up to a new job site, wherever that might be. You open up your CompanyCam app, and it's as simple as just pressing the camera button. So you can press it up top here, down low, really wherever you want. Click on that. And what is happening is my GPS on my phone is kicking in right now. But I can either take photos at an existing project, so I can just click in there and start taking photos, or if there's nothing nearby, that will be empty. This will be empty, and it will force me to create a new project. So I'll just create a new project with you on the phone right now. Pulling up my address, I just hit create. I can title that whatever I want. I'll just say new demo. Whatever you want. You can name that several different things. And I start taking photos. So I'll just snap photos of my coffee mug here. We'll pretend that's like a construction site or something. So as I'm snapping photos, snapping away, I'm snapping a few. As you can kind of see on the right, in real time, these photos are coming in. And a couple things. You know who took the photo, you know where they took it, and you know when they took it. So I can even click into the project here that I just created, and I can see all the photos here that are taken. So if you think about your crew or whoever's out in the field taking these photos, they're not storing them on my device. It's not saving on my phone or anything like that. It's shooting to the cloud and in real time organizing itself based on the address that you picked to take a photo at. So that way, you're not taking SIM cards back to the office or whatever else you're doing, if it's sort of maybe a more clunky system and like a CRM that you're taking photos or whatever. This just really simplifies that process, and it's like two buttons. So once I'm taking photos, you can do a couple things to document your work. So you'll notice kind of down at the bottom left, there's that number 7 there. If I click on that, it kind of gives me I call it the photo tray of my most recent photos. I can always go back to a photo. Let's say I want this one, for instance. It'll pull up this little editing bar on the right. So then you can do some pretty basic edits. So I can draw on it. I can write notes needs repaired or something, whatever. You can use all these tools on the sidebar there to kind of map up your photo, do whatever you want. You can draw notes, you can write measurements on it. Oops. Drop that on there. So you can mark that up again, just for more context for anybody that might be back at the office or anything like that, because everyone in your entire company that's involved in CompanyCam can see all this information. You can search by it, you can filter for it, and you can easily share it, which I'll get to in a second as well. So marking up the photo, down at the bottom left as well are a few other features. So you can comment. You can write notes, whatever you want to say there, and you can also mention each other. So CompanyCam is intended to be not just the photo storing, sharing, but it's also a collaborative tool for your company. So if you're at one job site and then somebody that you're managing might be at another job site, or even on the other side of the construction site for that matter, you can mention them. And I'll just mention myself if I think I can do that. Yes, I can. Check this out. So when I mention myself, I'll just get a push notification like that, just like any other app. And then you click on that and it will take you to the conversation, and we can have a conversation through the context of this photo. So you don't have to share photos back and forth. You don't have to email them back and forth. You can just have a conversation right there. You can also have voice notes here as well too, that little blue microphone. Just talking to the phone for I think 30 seconds is what it gives you. Stop it, save that. Again, it just ties that to that photo, mention someone, whatever, so you can communicate there. So once one other thing, tags right there. So you can tag your photos too. Think of this as almost like putting folders within a project. So you can tag a photo north corner or something like that. So if you tag the photos there, you can always filter by the tag within a project. So anyway, once I save that, again, the annotation comes back to the office in basically real time. And if I'm sitting on the computer as well, I can just click on that photo. I can take my notes on my computer. I can draw it up. I can add a tag, whatever. You can do all the same stuff on the desktop as well. So back here, a couple other features I'll show you before I get into like sharing them around. You can take video too. Just record the video, move it around a little bit. All my fun wires down here. Stop that. Again, that just uploads in real time, or as real time as we can make it. Obviously, videos take a little bit longer to upload than a photo, but if you just kind of watch over here, it'll be there once it processes. Scanner, I think it popped in already. Yeah, there it is. So I can watch this video. It buffers. Again, I know who took it, when they took it, where they took it. Scanner, I don't actually have anything to scan, but if you have receipts, contracts, whatever, you can scan it with your phone and it will drop it into your project under the documents section right here. So if I go back, a couple other things. Last thing I'll show you on the bottom there is the before and after. So depending on your business, you might take a lot of before and afters. You might do some marketing, whatever. This is a super easy way to do that. So when I click that before and after feature, it's just going to take me to like my project to show me all my photos. And I could just, let's just say this middle one right here, that's my before photo. So it's asking me to pick my before photo. So that's my photo that I want. When I choose that photo, what it's going to do is kind of give me this like overlay of it. And then I just kind of line up the edges and the corners and whatever. Good enough. Obviously, it looks a lot cooler when it's a real before and after, not a coffee mug, but it'll drop your logo there. You can pick your filter you like. And then when you save that, same thing, drops it into your project. And then you can quickly share it as well out to, you know, whoever you want. Social media, Instagram, text it to a customer, whatever. So that's the basics of the camera feature, right? So again, I want to reiterate, it's super simple tool to get in the hands of anybody that needs to be documenting job sites within your company, taking photos, videos, capturing receipts, reports, whatever. And it gets it all into the right place at the right time. So you're not hounding people for photos, you're not pulling them off their phone, using storage anywhere else. CompanyCam has unlimited storage. So kind of solves that problem. But then usually like the next step of getting photos is either you're getting photos for something, whether you're sort of covering your ass, you want to share them somewhere, you're documenting this work for some reason. So over here on the desktop, you can do this on the phone as well, but this screen is just bigger, so I'll show you here. I'll show you the quick 3 ways to share CompanyCam photos. So the first way, if I just click here, I can just share all images. And then it will always ask you if you want to include the data. Like, so if you want to include who took it, where they took it, and when they took it, you can choose to include that or not. I always recommend including it because it's documentation. Can't hurt. So once you copy that link, I'll do that again. You just copy that link. You can email it directly from here. You can share it, but here's sort of what it looks like when someone clicks on that link. It'll just be a link to all your photos and videos. They can kind of cruise through it if they want to, or they can download the photos as well. So no more emailing, you know, or trying to email, I should say, like 10 photos at a time where it just like gunks up your email. You can send like 10,000 photos in like 2 seconds with CompanyCam if you want to. The other way, you can also just like pick and choose. Like if I just want like these 3 photos, I can select them by clicking these little circles here and then share the gallery as well. Same thing I just showed you, it would just be those 3 photos instead of all of them. And then another one, this is really popular, especially with maybe bigger construction companies. You can share what we call a timeline link. So this you can actually share maybe whether it's like a customer or other involved parties. And sharing this link out with someone gives you a real-time like progress report. So if I were to go back to this job site, say tomorrow, and take some more photos, they would automatically appear here. So you can keep other people that may not be involved in like your CompanyCam account directly up to date without having to send them 100 photos back and forth. They just get a real-time like photo feed of what's going on, and again, time-stamped and everything as well. And then the last way, so I did gallery, timeline, and then the last way I'll show you real quick is a report. So let's just say these 4 photos, why not? Instead of sharing there, you can just create a report. And here's where you can kind of customize it. Demo report. Oops. Come in here, add your text blocks. You can kind of customize your cover page, so you can include your cover image, your company's logo, the date. You can turn the stuff on and off and all that good stuff. You can come down here to the photos. You can add more notes for more context. You can also load notes in from the field. I don't know if I actually have any photos with notes on it. I don't. And then you can also add like more photos if you forgot to add one, or you can add a page break or a text block and put more description in here. Just write some gibberish there. So anyway, you customize your report, do whatever you want there. And then here you can, when you're done, you can either just share it via link. We like links here. It's just super easy to share. Email it directly right here or whatever you want to do. You can also just generate a PDF and then send that PDF out however you want as well. But here's kind of how those reports look. And again, whoever gets this could generate and download the PDF as well. Be as detailed as you like. So I think that's like the very generic rundown of CompanyCam. The bare bone basics is capturing data between your entire team out in the field, all coming to one place. You can view your information. We have a projects feed, which is just sort of like your most recent projects. We have a photo feed, which would be like your most recent photos. Users, which is anyone you want to add to your account. You can group them together if you want to do more filtering. Your reports are saved here. We also have a map feature. If you want to like see where all your projects are at, in the world, you can do that. Not sure who was in Hawaii, but somebody was in Hawaii taking photos. So most of our projects should be in Nebraska. Yep. You can filter those down. And then we have a really good search feature too. So if you're ever like, oh, somebody calls you on the phone or whatever, you can just search for anything that you need, whether it's the name or the project address or whatever, you can search for whatever you need to search for. Find that right away. And then last thing I'll show you in regards to like communicating and conversing with your team is I showed you how you can comment on the photo and mention each other. You can also do that on a project level over here on the project conversation. So it's almost just like a little IM feature where you can talk, communicate, mention each other on the project level, not just on the photo. We integrate with some other softwares as well, so you can always check that out if CompanyCam looks interesting to you. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. Take photos and share them. Communicate.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I feel like you guys have covered all your bases, and it's a really comprehensive tool. And so, in your experience, the customers that use CompanyCam, is it everybody on the field team would have this app, or would you be just the foreman, or typically what do you see?
Typically, I guess like our best customers and the ones that use the best is everyone, whether you're in the office, field, foreman, whoever that might be. If you're taking photos or need to view photos or need to send them somewhere for like an insurance claim or something like that, it basically everyone can use CompanyCam. But the main people would be people out in the field taking the photos.
Okay. And are there limits as far as how many people can be on based on subscription level, or how does that work?
It's unlimited. Obviously, we are per user, but CompanyCam is free for up to 50 projects and up to 3 users. So you can easily give it a try. We don't hold your data. We don't hold it hostage. You can literally download it and leave whenever you want.
Okay. And is there a cap to how many projects, let's just say I'm a paying subscriber or user, is there a limit?
Nope. It's just all per user based, unlimited everything.
Okay. No, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
So one of the things that, obviously everyone's seeing is the use of kind of project management tools that are attempting to combine a lot of different enterprise software on a job site. And so have you guys started to look at some of the integration applications for something like this, whether it be with a Procore so that you can standardize the delivery of a file of all the job site photos and document it with a project, or any kind of those interesting use cases?
Yeah, absolutely. So just so like, we're not obviously trying to be your CRM or your project. Like,
Right.
we are trying to be like the field data capture. Like, that's what we're trying to do the best. But we have absolutely entertained the idea of Procore. We are integrated with Salesforce fully, their field service Lightning, and their Improve It 360, and some of their other like more construction based, obviously basic Salesforce. But yeah, we would totally entertain the idea of doing Procore. We just haven't honestly got a ton of requests for it yet.
And there's I mean, for sure, a handful of other image/visual capture applications out there. What kind of separates CompanyCam from the rest, or what's one thing that customers really focus in on as your big value add?
Yeah, I think our sort of like UX and US are like the way we've built it, I think, is much simpler than a lot of them. So like, yeah, I think sort of our biggest competition is sort of the good enough solution is what we run into. But like, I think two things. Like I said before, we are honestly only trying to be the best at this one thing. We are not trying to build any other feature like your own CRM or funnel or whatever. And then like, I think the way we've kind of built the camera to like locate you based off GPS, and it's like 2 clicks and you're taking photos, and then they're automatically kind of doing their own thing. You don't have to upload them anywhere or do anything else with them. I just think by design, it's the simplest tool for this, for photo and video data capture out there that I've run into anyway.
And then, what's typically the size of contractor? I mean, it sounds like you've worked with the whole breadth of the industry, no matter what size company. But I mean, speak to that. Kind of where is your main focus, and is this application industry wide, or are there limits to that?
I wouldn't say we target the large, like we will obviously work with anybody that wants to work with us, but I would say anyone that has like anywhere for like our kind of niche is like probably anywhere from like 10 to 100 employees, like specifically like field employees taking photos.
Got it. And then have you seen any impact with even just kind of the current state of just pandemic, and there seems to be a bigger push to manage jobs more remotely? Has this been a good opportunity for you guys to kind of get your name out there? Is there been more interest as of late?
Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky here. We haven't been affected as much as probably other businesses have, just because I think the nature of the work that our customers do, right? If your roof is leaking or something, you can't not get it done. There's just a certain nature of it that just really, I think, lends itself to us to kind of capitalize on, for lack of a better word. But we have some other features too, like you can add, we have a whole section on this on our website. It's called like contactless selling. So you can share like these timeline links to customers. And you can also, one feature I didn't show you is you can add what we call a guest user. So like, depending on what type of work you're doing, if you need to add other like a customer or something to your project, you can do that for a short period of time. They have limited feature access, but they can like add photos for you too. So if it's like, hey, maybe you don't want me in your house, can you take pictures of the damage? Or maybe you don't want me in your commercial building, or I don't know, whatever it might be. But you can add a guest user and get that data from them without ever having to physically contact them.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. And if I'm an owner of a company, or I'm overseeing several projects, is there some sort of dashboard that I can see, okay, here's all my projects, or was it just that map feature?
There's a couple ways you can do it. You can look at the map feature, or yeah, you can look at your projects. So here, by default, it just lines them up by
Hmm.
newest to oldest, but you can kind of filter those however you want. Start date, end date, users. You can even do like, I didn't show you this feature either, but you can like label projects based on what type of work it is. Or again, you can group your users you can group your users into groups. So like if I want to see all, like let's say I have Kelly's team or something like that, I can filter by my group and just see like what my team is working on.
Got it. And is there a report functionality that supports that too? If I just want to, if I'm an owner and overseeing a bunch of, projects, maybe I just want to take a high level view of kind of what's happened recently or the last week.
Not necessarily. You can export, like do a daily export if you'd like. It's just like a spreadsheet, but there's not like a visual dashboard
Yeah.
that you could look at.
Yeah.
So yes and no.
Got it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Hey, Kelly, so when you look at, some of these job sites now, even some of the smaller ones will have either, dedicated cameras set up in certain parts of the job site.
Mhm.
Obviously, the app is oriented towards the phone.
Mhm.
Is there any conversations, or maybe is there any desire to include other pipelines of images for some of this?
I mean, we entertain it like almost like a security cam kind of thing. Is that
Yeah.
what you're getting at? We've gotten that requested a handful of times. But right now, it's not our focus. I think that would maybe start getting us in like the hardware business a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been requested a handful of times, and I mean, it is technically field data capture, probably in our wheelhouse. But I wouldn't say we have anything like coming soon for that.
Yeah, well, I really like this. I think this is a really cool app that you have, and some of the relationships that I have in the Omaha area are still with the Whiting Turner Company, and
Hmm.
maybe we can follow up after the recording and
Hmm.
kind of talk through some opportunities there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And it also seems like there could be an application, even not just with builders themselves, but operators and maintenance professionals and service professionals to use this product and platform, right?
Yeah, that's service professionals 100%. If you're going to anyone's house, doing anything, if you're doing any sort of maintenance, absolutely. That's probably our bread and butter would be like service professionals, trade services particularly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, like Steven said, I mean, I really like this as well. I mean, I really appreciate your time to walk through it and kind of explain what you guys are doing, because I think, I mean, this is for sure something that I could have really used when I was on job sites, and even thinking like other smaller contractors that I'm affiliated with that are kind of residential and still are sharing photos digitally
Mhm.
via email. But this is just a quick and easy way to really push out, and it's a really great marketing tool for a lot of these
Mhm.
companies as well, is to be able to show and promote kind of the before and afters and what they've been able to accomplish, outside of the whole even deficiency tracking and progress updates.
Yep, yep. I think that's like the one last plug I would say is like the how much easier this is probably than what you're already doing. I don't want to say for sure, but like
Yeah.
you will get more data from your team. Like you will get more information. So that in turn covers your butt a little bit better. So maybe you save more money on that end, or you have more information for an insurance claim, or you have more marketing photos for your marketing. So it kind of affects your bottom line in a lot of different ways. It just depends how you use it and what you find most useful.